Our next topic is heat balance. Heat balance of the earth, heat balance of the atmosphere, or we can say heat balance of the in the terms of an solar radiation. So that is how much that is the earth receives its energy, earth receives its heat from the insolation, that is through the solar radiation. The earth gets the heat, earth is heated up and it gives back the equal amount of heat. What I am saying is equal amount of heat what it receives. If earth is receiving some X units, earth will also give back the X unit. Earth receives the solar radiation in the form of short waves, the earth gets heated up and it gives away the radiation in the form of a long waves. See, if you directly read it from NCERTs or from in books, it becomes you can say a bit confusing topic, because the way of presentation in the books is not given, but here I will try to simplify it and the question can be directly here, because these are direct questions here, because there is nothing to implied in this that describe the describe the heat balance of the earth. Or what do you mean by heat balance? Explain it with the example, or explain the heat balance of the earth. Now, from the preliminary point of view, here the questions can be, as I have already told you, how much amount of total solar radiation reaches the earth? 49%, 51%, 100%, 70%. Answer is in the lecture and already we have discussed it. How much amount of solar radiation is reflected by the clouds? You already know the answer, 27%. What is this amount which is reflected by the clouds known as? You already know it is the albedo. So the total solar radiation which comes inside the earth in the form of a short wave solar radiation and the terrestrial radiation which is given out by the earth in the form of a global radiation forms the heat balance. And because the earth does not lose the heat, not it keeps the heat, that is, the earth should not get heated to function as a proper efficient system. Whatever is in the inside should be put outside. If the earth keeps on accumulating heat, then the earth will be very hot, no life will be possible. Similarly, if the earth keeps on losing the heat, no life will be possible, because the earth will keep on getting more cold, and hence the optimum temperature which is required for the sustenance of life on the earth won't be possible. Therefore, the amount which earth receives, equal amount is given out, and this is what we call as an heat balance. So before this, so what do you mean? We know that the earth, the terrestrial radiation, before that the total solar radiation, which reaches the earth or which reaches the ground is known as an global radiation. It's called as global radiation. So what is a global radiation? It is the solar radiation which is reaching the surface of the earth. It is the total solar radiation. Why I am stressing the point? Because the total solar radiation is known as a global radiation. I am stressing it because logically, or if we think too much, the global radiation should be the earth, radiation by the earth, but no, the global radiation is the radiation which is reaching the earth from the sun. The solar radiation, as we already know, reaches in the form of short waves. This total radiation reaches in the form of short waves. Now the solar radiation which is received by the earth the earth receives some amount of a short wave solar radiation, it gets heated up, and as I am again repeating it so that it gets fixed in your mind, the earth gets heated up and it radiates the heat back in the form of which kind of a radiation? In the form of a long wave terrestrial radiation. Solar is a short wave radiation, S and S, solar ka S and short wave ka S, while the terrestrial radiation is a long wave radiation. So get it fixed in your mind. Now the total solar radiation is known as an global radiation. It is in the form of an short waves. Now the heat balance is the equation where we are going to study the difference between the total, how much amount of total solar radiation reaches the earth. Out of that total solar radiation, how much amount directly reaches the earth, how much amount is reflected by the atmosphere, how much amount is absorbed by the atmosphere, and how much amount is reflected by the earth, by the clouds, sorry. So, for that, we will take some 100%, for simplifying that, we'll take that, for example, if the total solar radiation which is reaching the earth as 100% or 100 units. It's better to take in the form of if there are 100 units which are reaching the earth, or if you want, you can also substitute the 100 units by 100%. But I prefer the 100 units also. So, if there are total solar radiation reaching the earth, for example, and we are taking if we take that total solar radiation reaching the earth is 100 units or 100%, how does the equation work out? Let's see. If there are 100 units or 100% of the solar radiation which is reaching the earth, out of this 100%, 35% is sent back by the, out of this 100%, 35% is sent back directly. Out of this 35%, 6% is sent back by the dust particles. %, is reflected back by the clouds. %, of the solar radiation is reflected by snow-covered ground surface. So, if the 100% is coming, 35% is directly reflected or sent back. Out of this 35%, 6% is sent back by the dust particles, 27% is reflected back by the clouds, and the 2% is reflected by the snow-covered ground surface. So, it is out of this 35, then how much remains? 100 minus 35, it is the 65%. Then 100 minus 35, the remaining solar energy is what is the 100 minus 35 is 65% takes part in heating the atmosphere, or it takes part in heating the Earth's surface. Out of this remaining 65%, or we can say, is absorbed. Now even see how the remaining 65% is absorbed. It is not the entire 65% is absorbed by the Earth. Out of this 65%, 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere. And 51%, and the 51% reaches the Earth, or we can say it is absorbed by the Earth's surface. It is absorbed by the Earth's surface. So how much percent of the total solar radiation comes directly through the Earth's surface? It is the 51% which is absorbed by the Earth's surface. But again here, out of this 51%, not entire, in this 51% we can still divide 34% comes as direct solar radiation. And 14% is received as diffused daylight. Is received as a diffused daylight. So see how the entire equation takes place. Now first again looking at the equation, looking at the different equations. The first is, out of the total solar radiation, that is 100%, 35% does not take part in heating of the atmosphere, or it does not take part in anything because it is directly reflected or scattered away. Out of this 35%, 6% is scattered by the dust particles, 27% is reflected by the clouds, and 2% is reflected by the snow covered ground surface. That means this is what we call as a reflecting property, is known as an albedo. It is the remaining 65% or 65 units which take part in heating of the Earth's surface. Out of this 65 units, 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere. This 65% takes part in heating. Even in this 65%, 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere, while the remaining 51% is absorbed by the Earth's surface. So effective heating of the Earth's surface is only by the 51%. Out of this 51%, only 34% reaches as a direct radiation, while remaining 14% reaches as a diffuse daylight. Now if the question comes in the examination, out of the total solar radiation, how much reaches the Earth's surface, what you have to remember, it is not asking you how much reaches directly or indirectly. It is asking you how much reaches as a, how much of the total solar radiation reaches as an on the Earth's surface. Now when it is asking you how much it reaches as an on the Earth's surface, the answer is 51%. It is 51% is absorbed by the Earth's surface. So this is the total incoming energy and total incoming solar radiation, how it takes part. Now obviously the Earth as a whole, as I told you, the Earth as a whole does not accumulate the entire energy. Just look at this, understand what we are trying to do. at the end of this topic, I will again revise it with the diagram and give you, if the question comes in the examination, what should be your structure of the answer. Okay. So again, the total incoming solar radiation, if we take it as 100%, 35% is sent back by scattering, 61% is by the dust particles, 27% is reflected by the clouds, and 2% by the snow covered ground surface. Now this is one of the commonly asked question in the preliminary examination, that how much is reflected by the clouds. After that, the remaining solar energy, 65% is absorbed, or we can say take part in the heating process. Even in this 65%, 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere, and it is the remaining 51%, 65 minus 14 is 51. It is the remaining 51% which reaches the Earth's surface and heats up the Earth. Even in that 51%, or direct radiation, say only 34% of the direct solar radiation which is received as an Earth surface, while the remaining 40% is received as a diffuse daylight. Now coming to the next part, the Earth as a whole, as we have already done, the Earth as a whole does not accumulate energy, nor does it lose energy. It has to maintain the equilibrium. It has to maintain the balance, because the maintenance of equilibrium is the necessary condition in any system. Equilibrium has to maintain, only then the system will follow, or we can say balance has to maintain, or even in the human beings, healthy balanced life has to be maintained in each and everything. If you go after only one thing, then there is a disequilibrium resulting into stress. Same thing here you apply. The Earth has to maintain the balance, to maintain the life on the Earth. So Earth cannot accumulate the heat, nor it can lose the heat. It has to take the heat, and it has to give back the equal amount of heat. How much amount of heat has the Earth taken? It has taken 65%. Out of that 65%, the Earth and the atmosphere, it has taken the 65% is used in the heating up. Out of that, how much percentage has the Earth taken? It is the 51%. So now let's see here the next part. The Earth as a whole. Does not accumulate, or it does not accumulate or lose heat. It does not accumulate and it lose heat. It maintains its temperature. And to maintain the temperature, and therefore to maintain the temperature, heat received through insolation should be equal to heat lost through terrestrial radiation. Through the terrestrial radiation. Now, what is this terrestrial radiation? The Earth, after getting heated up through insolation, it gets heated up and also radiates the heat back. Any heated up substance radiates the heat back. And if you remember the previous lecture, Wien's displacement law, if the temperature of an emitting body is low, then the wavelength of the emission should be high, because the wavelength is inversely proportional to the heat. or temperature of an emitting body. Now the sun, because it is very hot, obviously short waves. The earth is not hot as the sun, because see, earth, had it been hot, we would not have been living on the earth. So the earth, because it is getting indirectly heated up from the sun, it is not as hot as the sun, and therefore it emits the long wave terrestrial radiation. The earth, after getting heated up, so you take down this, what I am writing or what I am dictating you, because this forms the part of your answer. And the structure of the answer, if you refer the books, it becomes very complicated. So keep it very simple. So you take it down. The earth, after receiving, getting heated up, getting heated up, radiates the heat, in form of long wave terrestrial radiation. Terrestrial radiation in the form of a long wave terrestrial radiation. This long wave terrestrial radiation, is also known as effective radiation. Is also known as an effective radiation. Now, इसको क्यों effective radiation बोलते हैं? It is because of this radiation, the long wave terrestrial radiation, the lower part of the atmosphere, जहां हम रह रहे हैं, the troposphere, the lower part of the troposphere is getting heated up, because most of the gases are transparent to incoming solar radiation, but they are opaque to outgoing terrestrial radiation. They trap the terrestrial radiation, reflect it, re-reflect it. It does not allow the terrestrial radiation to escape, heating up the lower atmosphere, and therefore it is known as an effective radiation. Had it allowed the long wave terrestrial radiation to escape, no heat would have been trapped, and therefore there would not have been any heat on the surface of the earth. So that is why, because it is heating up the lower atmosphere, it is known as an effective radiation. Come to your one question or one concept. If I ask you, what is responsible for heating the entire surface of the earth? It is solar radiation. But what is responsible? Solar radiation is responsible, no doubt. But what is responsible for heating up the lower atmosphere? Is it more solar radiation or is it terrestrial radiation? The answer is terrestrial radiation, effective radiation. देखो, sun is the universal energy. It is the driving force responsible for major things. But immediate or the most important, or what you say in examination, UPSC examination, if you see the past year questions, they will ask you, choose the most appropriate answer. The most appropriate answer is the terrestrial radiation. Heating up of lower atmosphere takes up by terrestrial radiation. Again, heating up of lower atmosphere is through terrestrial radiation. So, our earth, after getting heated up, radiates the heat back in the form of long wave terrestrial radiation, also known as effective radiation. Now, why it is known as an effective radiation, as I told you? Because it helps in heating up of lower portion of the atmosphere. It helps in heating up of the lower atmosphere. So the earth as a whole does not accumulate or lose heat. Earth maintains its temperature, and therefore to maintain the temperature, heat received through insolation in the form of short waves should be equal to heat lost through terrestrial radiation in the form of long waves. Therefore the earth, after getting heated up, radiates the heat in the form of long wave terrestrial radiation. It is also known as an effective radiation because it helps up in heating up of a lower atmosphere. Now coming to now you remember 65 units or 65% was used for heating up of the Earth's atmosphere. Out of that 65%, 51% was directly received by the Earth. Out of that 50, or it was received by the Earth. Out of that, now the Earth, to maintain the heat balance or to maintain this, it should lose the 51%, and also it should lose the Earth's atmosphere as a whole should lose the 65%, while the Earth's surface should lose the 51%. How does it lose? We'll look at the equation of a terrestrial radiation. We earlier did the equation of solar radiation. Now look at the equation of a terrestrial radiation. Now before again we start with what we have to see here. We have to see whether the Earth loses the 65 units as a whole which Earth surface and the surrounding atmosphere has absorbed, and whether the Earth's surface it loses the 51% or not. So let's see here how does it do. Out of that incoming solar radiation, the Earth, 71% of the Earth's terrestrial radiation, 17% is radiated directly into the space. It is radiated directly into the space. Now this 34% is absorbed by 34% is absorbed by the atmosphere. is absorbed by the atmosphere. Out of this 34%, 6% is directly absorbed by the atmosphere, 6% is directly absorbed, 9% of energy is spent in convection, and turbulence. What do you mean by the convection? That is, any heated surface, the air starts rising up because it gets energy, the air expands and starts rising up. This is the convection. While 19%, is used in condensation. So this is how the Earth's radiated energy is utilized. 17% of the energy is radiated directly into the space, while 34% of the terrestrial radiation is absorbed by the atmosphere. Out of this 34%, if you want to see the breakup again, 6% is directly absorbed, 9% is used in the convection process, and 19% is used in the condensation or rainfall process. Okay, so in this is, so how much is 17 plus 15? 34. Does it make 51? So this is how the 51% of the energy which is utilized by the earth is given away. So the 51%, so the earth's surface does not store any energy. Then what is the difference? Only difference is short waves and long waves. So 51% is stored away. Now, but still it does not complete our 65 units. Now you remember, out of the total energy, 48% of the is absorbed by the atmosphere. Is absorbed by the atmosphere. Now how, from where this 48% has come? 34% of the terrestrial radiation is absorbed by the atmosphere. While if you remember, पहले 14% of the solar radiation was already absorbed by the atmosphere. 14% was already absorbed. That is why 51% used to reach of the surface. So 48% was already absorbed by the atmosphere. 31% of long wave radiation and 14% of terrestrial radiation. So how to calculate those 51% का हिसाब लग गया? What we want to find out is the 16%. Even if you can take this 51%, in this 51%, उसके बाद 65% we want, whether the 65 units absorbed by the atmosphere are given out by the atmosphere or not. So, or are used or not. 48% was absorbed by the atmosphere. Now, this absorbed energy of the atmosphere is reflected by the atmosphere. So, the 48% is absorbed by the atmosphere plus out this entire is radiated back. So how much of the total energy is radiated back? It is 48% of atmosphere plus 17% of energy radiated into the space makes it total 65% of energy is, or 65 units makes it total, balances the 65 units which are balances the 65% which was received from the sun. So that makes our calculation. So see, I know this is a bit confusing, the terrestrial radiation. Solar radiation was easy. Now terrestrial radiation, we started the terrestrial radiation with the definition that Earth, with the statement that the Earth does not keep the energy. It radiates the energy back to maintain the equilibrium. Now, which energy it returns back? It returns 51%, which it gets, which the Earth's surface gets, and also the 65 units. In that 51%, how much of the total solar radiation was reflected back? 65 units were used for heating up the earth's surface. We have to find that 65 units. We have to calculate those 65 units. Why? Because out of the total solar radiation, 35% was reflected directly back, out of which clouds 27 formed the major balance. Now we have to calculate about the remaining 65 units. In that 65 units also, 14% or 14 units were absorbed by the atmosphere, which it radiates back. 51% reaches the earth. Now coming to the terrestrial radiation, the 15% which reaches the earth has to be given back. This terrestrial radiation is given in the form of 17% which is directly reflected into the space and 34% which is absorbed by the atmosphere. Thus makes up for the 51% of terrestrial radiation. Now, this is equal to the amount of energy which was received by the earth's surface. Yes, 51% was received by the earth's surface, 51% is given out by the earth's surface. How it is given out? 17% was given out directly into the space. मतलब कोई absorption नहीं, directly back into the space, and 34% was absorbed by the atmosphere. So the atmosphere के पास total कितने units है? Atmosphere totally had absorbed 51, or the earth and the atmosphere दोनों मिला के how many units they absorbed? Because the earth and the atmosphere absorbed 65 units, out of which 51 का हमने हिसाब लगा दिया है. Remaining is the 14 units. Now how this, so now coming back to the atmosphere. Atmosphere had 65 units. Now this atmosphere 65 units which are absorbed by the atmosphere, 34 units are from terrestrial radiation and 14 units पहले केस में से solar radiation में से. So the 48 units are there. Now this 48 units are radiated back into the space. So the earth के पास, earth and atmosphere के पास, earth has given 17% directly into the space and 48% of earth's energy is lying with the 34% of earth's energy along with 14% of solar energy is lying with the atmosphere, which also it gives back into the space, resulting into 65% of received energy it is giving back into the space. So thus 48% of energy by the atmosphere and 17% is radiated back into the space, making up for a total of 65 units which is received from the sun. Thus there is a balance of terrestrial radiation and the solar radiation. So total 65 units जो earth and atmosphere की heating में लगे थे, they are given back. How they are given back? 51% of the earth energy which the earth has received is given back in this way. 17 plus 34 is made up 51. Now इसी में हम, और if you want to simple, then how much percent is remaining? 65. जो 14% जो लिए था atmosphere of solar energy by the atmosphere, it is also radiated directly back. So making up for the 16 units, or you can light it in this way, or we can say the terrestrial radiation or the balance by the atmosphere, 48% which is absorbed by the atmosphere. It consists of 34% of terrestrial radiation and 14% of solar radiation. Thus atmosphere 48% it radiates back, and it is remaining 17% is radiated directly into the space, that is this. Thus it makes up for the 65% of the solar radiation. Now I will try to explain you this with the help of a simple diagram. If there are total 100 units which are coming from the, I'll first make a diagram for solar radiation. there are 100 units which are coming down in from solar radiation. Out of that 100 units, what we have done is, out of this 100 units, 35% is sent back. How this 35% is sent back? %, is reflected directly back by the clouds. So I am putting here minus 27%. Okay, out of the, I am putting here out of the 100%, 27% is reflected back by the clouds. If we take this ground surface here, 2% of the total solar radiation is reflected by the ice covered ground surface. 2% of the total solar radiation is reflected by the ice covered ground surface, while the 6% is scattered back into the space. While the 6% is scattered back into the space. So out of this 100 units or 100% solar radiation, which was coming, 27% is going back by the clouds, 6% is being scattered by the space, and 2% is going back from the ground. So how much is remaining? The remaining is, how much is remaining is the 65 units. Now out of this remaining 65 units, %, reaches the ground. I will take this whatever is reaching the ground and atmosphere as in the red color. 51% is reaching the earth surface. Out of this 51%, 34% is reaching as direct radiation, and 17% as scattered radiation. So the earth receives 51%, while the 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere. While we can say the 14% is absorbed by the atmosphere. Don't take it directly, don't show the arrow even in the examination directly to the ground surface, because it is being utilized by the atmosphere. So are you getting this equation, what we have already done? This is the equation for solar radiation, or we can say it is a figure for solar radiation. See, in the examination, I prefer drawing the I'll prefer if you can draw these diagrams are very simple. You do not have to be an artist for drawing this diagram. So in the examination, draw this diagram. It has two benefits. The first thing is your visual memory is utilized, and as I showed you, levels of processing approach, the more you process while practicing, the more deeper it feels. You will never figure that 27%, you will never forget that 27% is lost by the clouds if you can remember this diagram. You will never forget that 6% kind blank mein matlab scattered by the space and 2% by the ice covered ground surface. The other than, you will also not forget that 51% means 34% as a direct radiation and 17% as we have written as a diffuse daylight or scattered radiation. Okay, so this is how it works out. Now, and the second benefit of drawing a diagram is even the examiner or the person who checks your question paper also can see by looking at the diagram itself that you have understood the concept. So better draw a diagram. But this is just one diagram because heat budget of the earth, you are drawing the incoming heat budget of the earth. Now how to draw the outgoing, that is the terrestrial diagram. So the next figure is terrestrial radiation. Figure you can label heat budget of the earth. Through, or we can write in the diagram itself here that we are talking about the terrestrial radiation. Long wave terrestrial radiation. Now in this long wave terrestrial radiation, what we know is that the 17% is lost directly into the space. What we already know is the 17%, if you can, 17% is radiated directly into the space. Is radiated directly into the space. %, is lost in the process of condensation. 19% is lost in the process of an condensation. 9% is lost in the process of 9% is lost in the process of convection. %9 is lost in the process of convection, and the 6% is utilized by the atmosphere. Is utilized by the atmosphere. So the earth, or we can draw it here. So minus 6, minus 19 and minus 9% is lost by the atmosphere. So 34 and 17, this makes up the 51% from the Earth's surface. Now the atmosphere has 48% of energy, that is this 34%. Now this it is absorbed by the atmosphere in the condensation process. It is given out to the atmosphere in the convection process. It is given out for the atmosphere. So the atmosphere has plus 6 here in the atmosphere, plus 19 here and plus 9 here. This all energies are the atmosphere are having. Plus 6, plus 19, plus 9. Out of this 34% is then given away by the atmosphere. Also, 14% of solar radiation is given away by atmosphere. So atmosphere will give 14% of solar radiation and 34% of terrestrial radiation. So the total makes it 48%. The total of this is 48%, and 48% plus 17% is 65%. So this is how the Earth budget of the Earth, heat budget of the Earth is. Now how should you answer this question? While answering this, just have a look at the diagram. I will again explain you. Well, we have to the long wave, the Earth gives away the long wave terrestrial radiation and thus loses the heat. The long wave terrestrial radiation, 51% of the energy which is received by the Earth, out of that 17% is directly given out into the space. So here minus 17%. 9% is given out through the process of convection, 19% through the process of condensation, and 6% is directly absorbed by the atmosphere, thus making it 51%. Now look here, obviously this 6% is directly absorbed by the atmosphere, so I am putting plus 6. The amount of heat released during condensation, it is absorbed by the atmosphere, plus 19. The amount of heat released during the convection by the Earth is absorbed by the atmosphere, plus 9. So the atmosphere has 34% of terrestrial radiation and already it had 14% of solar radiation, thus making the total 48%. Now this atmosphere gives away this 48% of solar radiation, and also the 17% is added because it has already been directly released by the Earth and not absorbed by the atmosphere. Directly released by the Earth in the space means obviously in the higher atmosphere. So the atmosphere total, which had 65 units, also gives away the 65 units in the form of this 48 units, 14 plus 34 plus 17 units. And or we can say the Earth gives away 51 units in this way. So this is how the heat balance of the Earth is. Now how to answer this question? Now the first, always start your answer with the definition. What do you mean by the heat budget of the Earth? So the definition, that is the terrestrial radiation, comes in the form of a short wave terrestrial radiation, and the Earth after getting heated up gives away long wave. Definition is the solar radiation comes in the form of a short wave radiation which heats up the Earth's surface. This Earth's surface which gets heated up releases the heat in the form of a long wave terrestrial radiation. Then to maintain the heat balance, the amount of solar radiation should be equal to the amount of terrestrial radiation. This is what is the heat budget of the earth. Now the next is terrestrial radiation. Draw the first diagram. Now explain what is the next is the solar radiation. So what is the solar radiation? Draw the first diagram. So the second point is solar radiation plus figure 1, that is the figure of solar radiation. Now the third point is terrestrial radiation plus figure 2, and explain this, and this is what heat budgets of the earth is, and then conclude. Fourth point is conclude, that is thus the amount of heat energy which is received is given away, and thus balance of 65 units is maintained. This is what the conclusion is. This is one way. The alternate way is definition. Both the diagrams solar radiation, terrestrial radiation, and then conclusion. But obviously always your answer should start with definition and end with an conclusion. Okay, so I will be providing the good diagram to draw and also go through this topic through 11th standard physical geography NCERT. Till we meet for the next topic, wish you all the very best and keep studying very hard. Okay, thank you very much.